So if you say something that Donald Trump doesn't like, he'll try to have you fired. If you put out a story revealing the truth, he'll sue you. And now if you make a joke that Donald Trump doesn't like, he'll have your show canceled. That's the subject of today's video. These are the headlines. ABC suspends Jimmy Kimmel live indefinitely over Charlie Kirk comments. And I mean, immediately I'm just like, okay, what are we talking about here? Let's watch together.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
So apparently Donald Trump didn't like that joke, and the joke is basically, okay, they're trying to paint Charlie Kirk as a saint, and, you know, Trump's like really mourning the loss of his friend. And so then literally you ask Trump, hey, what's going on with Kirk? And Trump's just like, oh, hey, look at my new ballroom. Isn't it awesome? Look how great it is. I'm going to have all this corruption. Oh, yeah, gold ballroom, right? I mean, literally, you just saw him talking about construction stuff and stuff. And then now, I guess Kimmel's show is being, they're saying, what, suspended underneath, suspended. And on top of that, you have to put this in context. Trump is suing the New York Times. That was a new one. President Donald Trump files $15 billion defamation lawsuit against New York Times. Again, if you put out a story that he doesn't like, if you know, Trump attacks the Wall Street Journal all the time for saying, hey, we got this birthday book thing, then they're saying, hey, it doesn't exist, and then they literally share the, you know, birthday book thing. It's like, I mean, there's a point to when people are going to come out even stronger, I think, right? Now, the Trump point of view is, oh, well, if we keep attacking them, we're just going to put people in fear. I don't think so. I think it's going to be the opposite. People are going to get more angry on this stuff because what Trump is trying to do, he's trying to hide everything. That's basically what it boils down to. They're trying to hide his poor behavior, as you literally just saw right there regarding the Charlie Kirk thing, or they try to hide poor economic data, be it if you put out numbers he doesn't like, he'll have you fired. That was at the BLS. Recently, now Trump's been floating out, we don't want companies to report their earnings very often, right? Going from 4 times a year to only 2 times a year, and basically trying to hide how bad things are. This whole thing is all about hiding stuff that makes Trump look bad. That's effectively what it boils down to. And you have to understand that Trump thinks of this whole thing as a TV show. That's why he always talks about ratings, or he'll talk about, oh, I like that person, they're handsome on TV, or she's really pretty on TV. That's the stuff that he's concerned about. He's concerned about how stuff looks on TV. And so if you make a joke on TV that Trump doesn't like, he'll have your show suspended. Let's read what they say. I want to read what the network has to say about this. Quote, Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Mr. Kirk are offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse, and we do not believe they reflect the spectrum of opinions, views, or values of local communities in which we are located. Okay, so that's coming from the president of Nexstar. Continuing to give Mr. Kimmel a broadcast platform in the communities we serve is simply not in the public interest at the current time, and we had to make the difficult decision to preempt his show in an effort to let cooler heads prevail as we move toward the resumption of respectful, constructive dialogue. Okay, that's their point of view. I want to point this out also on Fox News recently. Kimmel had something to say about solution for homeless people. We'll see what it is.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Right. I would say this. We're not voting for the right people. In North Carolina,
Right. So Kilmeade's solution to stuff is just kill him. You literally just heard him say it right there. And yet this guy is still on the air, and you compare that to Kimmel's joke. I'm just showing you guys two back to back. Now, I do want to tell you the full story on this stuff. We don't know if the show is going to continue or not because late night television is struggling financially. That's just the reality, right? And let me read this about this. And I know a lot of other channels out there will skip over this part, but it matters. I just want to give you a full picture. So one, yes, it's a clear indication that Trump didn't like the joke, made the phone call, whatever, get him off the air. Okay, that part's true. The second question would be, will Kimmel ever come back? They were going to do contract negotiations, so we'll just read it together. You'll see. It says Kimmel's contract with ABC was set to expire next year, and there was speculation about whether it would be renewed, particularly after the announcement in July that CBS owner Paramount would cancel its top-rated late-night show, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. So I think this overall environment of late-night talk show will probably go away. It's already kind of a sinking category. But it doesn't necessarily have to go away the way that, Trump wants it to, where it's like, well, if you don't, if you make a joke about me, I get it canceled. So I disagree with that, but I just want to let you know that that whole particular industry is declining. That's just the reality of it. But we're also in an environment where Trump's trying to change the whole dynamics of discourse in the USA. So for example, this is the headlines today. Education Department partners with conservative groups for civics programming. So what is this all about? Basically, they want to take money away from teacher training programs. So let's forget about training our teachers to do a good job properly in schools. And let's just put a bunch of right-wing stuff in the schools, be it you got to love God and you got to worship Trump or whatever stuff that they want to tell you. We know that they want to remove any discussion of negative things. I'll just be honest about it. They want to remove any discussion of negative things in U.S. history that makes white people look bad. That's basically what it boils down to. So they want to erase anything mentioning slavery as being negative. It is a sick thing that they're doing, because the reason why it matters is that if you don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past, you learn from history. So these Trumper people out there, they basically want to erase history. And while the Trumpers are trying their best to cover up history so we don't learn mistakes from the past, we have a very dangerous situation happening right now in Mississippi. There was a black student at Delta State University found hanging from a tree, and it's very, very concerning. I've heard that there's actually another person as well that was also hanged, and there's worries of a cover-up in Mississippi. Now, normally, federal authorities would come in and investigate it if local police aren't going to, but we're in an environment to where Trump controls the FBI and basically has a bunch of incompetent lackeys there. So it's very concerning. Remember, we're at a time where Trump is removing presidential portraits in the White House, trying to hide them in the stairwell, and basically hanging up pictures of himself everywhere. They're trying to rewrite history and make you think that Trump is the only person ever. And sort of way he thinks about his administration, it's a one big TV show. He's got to hire as many actors as he can to go on his TV show, right? That's his administration. It's a TV show. And what's the acting job? Pretend that everything's fine and pretend that Trump is the greatest president ever, and everyone has to give him gold awards and compliments nonstop. This is how a dictator and authoritarianism, this is how it's run, right? It's all a facade. It's all fake. And if you tell the truth, they'll go out to cancel you. So that's my thoughts on this stuff. Please be careful out there, and I'll catch you on the next video.